Hello, and welcome to the Artist Pivot Podcast. My name is Ayana Major Bay, and well, I'm your host. I am on a mission to educate, empower, and celebrate artists so they have no option but to thrive. This is a weekly conversation with artists about their current pivot, past pivots, and every pivot in between that I hope will remind other creatives that we innately have it in us to reevaluate and adapt. When I'm not podcasting, my world is full of voiceovers, musical theater, mentoring, travel, and some cooking and baking. But enough about me. Let's get on with the show. On this episode, I am joined by fitness artist Walter the Champ Kemp. Walter Kemp Jr., a fitness artist and influencer who at 250 pounds dedicated his life to mental, physical, and spiritual growth, was able to lose over 100 pounds with consistency and discipline. He continues his quest to inspire and inform those who struggle with the same negative effects obesity had on him. Walter can be seen at Obey Fitness, which is a live stream and on-demand fitness community, as well as featured in Shape, Vogue, and Forbes magazine, giving advice on wellness. Walter has also had the opportunity to offer some of his booty-building tips to the cast of Good Day New York. Some of his favorite partnerships include CB2, En Vogue, and Amazon Live. Currently, Walter is developing his own fitness methods with a focus on building generational wellness for family ingestion. We discuss merging his passions for fitness and performing, not settling until you find what makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning, and being present for your journey. Here's our conversation. All right, y'all. So today on the podcast, joining me, I'm very, very excited to say that I have, hold on, I gotta do a little hair flip for him. Walter the Champ Kemp. Hey, bae.
What's up? What's up? How you doing? Thank you for having me.
I am well today. How are you doing? And you're very welcome.
I am amazing. I feel great. I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy to, sit down and have a conversation with you. This is great.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to start off. Little something I like to ask everybody. If I asked you to text me right now how you were feeling or how you're doing, but you could only respond in emojis only, what would you send me?
I would send the smiley face of the emoji that's smiling really big, but he's sweating. Like, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I swear I'm happy.
I'm happy. Yeah, totally.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that imaginary text. Yes. I love it. So, y'all, I've known Walter for a good couple of years now. We're not gonna age ourselves, but I've known him for a good couple of years.
A few.
Just a few. And I am so proud of all that he has accomplished and just watching him blossom into a fitness artist and a musician and just everything. And so I asked him to come on because I wanted to talk about his journey. And I know that he actually pivoted a couple years before the pandemic. But Walter, I would like to take everybody back to basically the beginning of your career, because when we met, you were not a fitness artist. But yeah, take us back to the beginning of your career, and then let's start talking about some of your pivots and how you are, where you are today.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you highlights.
Yes.
So
okay.
I moved to New York City to do musical theater. When I moved to New York, I was 250 pounds. I started to audition. I was having issues being booked. Because of my size. I was a dancer, but I didn't look like the other dancers. And a lot of the feedback I got was, maybe you should think about losing some weight. At first, that was hard to accept, but I took it and I did it. And I was able to lose over 100 pounds. Then I started working consistently. We did shows together. We did Hairspray. I started traveling with Dreamgirls. I did all of that. And my career was going pretty well. I enjoyed myself. Then I decided to get married. When I got married, I kind of put performing down for a little bit and was just focusing on my marriage. And I kind of had this moment where it was hard for me to get back into theater. Like, I was auditioning, but it wasn't going well. I started to lose the passion, but I knew that I wanted to perform. I just didn't know how anymore. Then I went through this really awful divorce, and I went on this self-love journey to finding myself all over again and rediscovering who I wanted to be. And at that point in time, it hit me like, yo, you love exercising. When you had to lose weight years and years ago, you fell in love with exercise. I never stopped working out,
Mhm.
but I never thought it can be a career. I was just like, this is what I'm doing to stay alive. This is
Yeah.
what I'm doing. Add years onto my life. I didn't think, oh, this is something I can do to inspire people or make money. Um, so I said, you know what? Let's try this fitness thing. Let me see. I was able to lose some weight. Let me see if I can help someone else lose weight. So then I was able to help my mom lose over 80 pounds. I was able to help my mother lose about 50 pounds. At that point, I knew I had something within me. I knew I had something to give. And I always say, you find your purpose when you align what makes you happy with service. And that's when I was like, fitness makes me happy and I can help people do this as well. So I started doing cardio classes. I started doing group classes. I was discovered by a studio called 305 Fitness. And when I met the owner, she told me like, yo, your story, who you are, you're going to change the world. I'm like, okay, girl, I guess. Then I decided to someone invited me in Atlanta to do a workout class and they wanted me to make a promo video. And
Mhm.
although I had been working in the fitness industry for about 2 years, I didn't have any visual content of me doing what I did. So I called my best friend and I was like, yo, I need to make a promo video. My best friend is a creative director for Mars Creative Agency. And instead of making a promo video, he made a music video. Like my promo video was a music video. It was like me, like girls who had big butts and all this stuff.
Yes.
What is this? This is not what the people asked for. But ironically enough, there was this online platform called Obey. And Obey is an online platform where we do fitness. Our competitors are Peloton, NeoU, and other companies like that. And they saw this video and they were like, what is this? And right before they launched their program, I was the first male they hired. They told me, come in. We want you to do whatever you did in that video right here. And I was like, okay. So they had 5 girls and I was the first male they hired. And I've been with the company for about like 4 years now.
Okay.
And it's just been like amazing. Like the feedback that I've gotten has been amazing. And I realized at that point in time, I'm like, Walter, you can do fitness, but you can do it in a creative way. You don't have to lose all of everything that you've learned throughout these years as a creator, as a performer. Like what your best friend did for you, making this music video allowed you to showcase your performance skills as well as your knowledge and your love for fitness and wellness. And I decided to just put it together. And a lot of people have never even heard of that. They're like, what is a fitness artist? I'm like, I'm a fitness coach, certified fitness coach who likes to come up with creative ways to inspire people to get moving. Whether I'm writing a song or I made a music video or I put a class together that's more of an experience than a class where you come in and like I'm working on something right now that's called the booty brunch, where it's going to be a booty workout, then we brunch after it. You know, I'm just creating
I'm
this.
there. I just want to let you know I'm coming. Okay, great. Continue.
So that's when I started to pivot, and what I did was I took my love for performance and I took my love for fitness and I put it together and came up with Walter the Champ Kemp, and here we are. And that's kind of been like my entire journey. It started with losing weight and helping people, and then just combining everything that I love and making this gumbo out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, come on, gumbo. Yes, make your gumbo.
Oh.
Okay. I love it. Yes, but taking, like you said, your love of fitness and your love of performing and going, I can blend all of this together and I'm going to make something new. Like that is new, which is a fitness artist. People are like, what? What's that? What's going on? But you
Well,
made it.
ideally, I really want to create a new lane and a new genre in music. Like we have our hip hop artists, we have our R&B artists, but we don't have fit. You know what I mean? Someone who specifically make music for people to work out to. Like some people make music R&B for you to make some love to or get over heartbreak or whatever it is. But I'm making music that's going to make people get up and move. But it's not just my brand, it's who I am. So you'll actually to work out with me and also go watch my music video or listen to the music and get up and do it as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, Walter. That's amazing. I'm giving you your flowers now.
Oh,
I know we do need a sound effect of applause right now. Insert that right here. Yes, Walter. Yes, I am here for that. Thank you for the highlight reel. I that warms my heart so much that you were able to take all of your passions and blend them together, but also with like, I know there was probably at some point where you're like, what am I doing? Can I do this? But then you're like, no, I can do this. I believe in myself. I believe in this section of me and that section of me, and I'm going to put them together some way, somehow, something's going to happen.
absolutely. I mean, of course, I knew that what I was doing was something that was never done. So I didn't have a prototype or anyone to model myself after, but I do know how I felt. And how I felt when I did it was completely aligned. Like the thing is, I tell my mom this. I'm like, Mom, when I was doing musical theater, I would go to auditions and I felt good, but I never felt 100%. There was always a part of me that was like, oh my God, am I singing off key? Oh my God, is my foot not turned out? Like it was all these questions that I had. But when I went into fitness and I was in that box or I'm filming and I'm doing like I'm working out, I didn't question anything. It was like, you're doing this. Oh yeah. Like I felt 100%. And that was when I was like, you know what? I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care how it looks. I feel good doing it. So I'm going to do it. And I think that's what it's ultimately about. That's when you know that you're doing something right. When it's like, there's not a shadow of doubt in your mind that doing. You cannot tell me that I'm not supposed to be a fitness artist. You can't tell Beyonce she's not Beyonce. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some things you can't, no. You know, this is what I do. Whether you believe it or not, I know within my heart, I know within my spirit what's supposed to happen. And one day everyone would see it and everyone would recognize it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Yes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And like you said, you didn't question. You're like, oh, I'm a fitness artist. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I am now in alignment with what
Yes,
I was put here to do.
absolutely.
Yeah, this is it. So, okay. So my question, because I want to know where this came from. Where did you get the champ from?
Um, this is a funny story, but of course, my name is Walter Kemp Jr. I was named after my father.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother did not care for my father at all when growing up. So she just refused to call me Walter. And she came up with the nickname Champ. And that's been my childhood nickname since I was a kid. Like, I have family members that didn't even know my name was Walter until they saw it like on Facebook or something. And they're like, wait, there's Champ. Champ name Walter? Like, nah, Champ name is Walter. So what I did was Walter was very much like there's two sides of me when I do fitness. Walter is very much the side of me that is led by my spirit. A lot of times when I teach my class, it's a very spiritual experience. Like I like my spirit leads everything that I do. I feel like when I exercise, that's meditation for me. It's the time that, like I said, like you said, when I'm fully aligned, my mind, my body, and my spirit are all working together for me to excel and to grow. But Champ is the artist. Champ is like, he's wild. He's the booty. He's the guy who everyone comes to get their booty built. They have fun with him. That's the booty brunch guy. And then I was training Lonnie Love. Lonnie Love, you guys know Lonnie Love from The Real, and
Mm-hmm.
she's done everything. Well, I was training Lonnie Love, and she was on an interview with someone, and she said, "Well, I'm training with this new guy, Walter the Champ Kemp, and I never heard it put together like that." And when she said that, I was like, "Walter the Champ Kemp. I'm keeping that." So I just went with it. So I took these two personas and I just made them into one because I just had to figure out a way to blend these two people. You know what I mean? Even though my teaching style is very separate when I'm doing Walter and when I'm doing Champ, but I just feel like it's just like together you recognize exactly who he is.
Right. I love that. Oh, Walter, I love that. And he's your alter ego. The champ is your alter ego.
Champ is the alter ego. He's crazy.
He's
and you know, is Ayana, you've met him.
I have.
Yeah. That contract, that was Champ the whole time.
The whole time. I ain't never met Walter. That was champ the whole time.
Yeah, you had champ, baby.
Understood. But I love that it's, yeah, but here's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm also a performer. I know I have an alter ego. I
Right.
haven't named her yet, but like, I know there's a different side of me. And I
Hmm.
think most people, but maybe they don't want to like claim it or admit it, or they're like, oh, I'm being too dramatic. Like, you
Yeah, yeah.
know,
No, that's part of you.
that's
We
part of
got
me.
to work on it though.
We're going to work on it.
We got to work on it. I'll give you some ideas.
Great. I'm here for it. Yes, I'm here for it. But I love that with the, combining, Walter and the champ together. That is who you are. So I'm so here for that name.
And the funny thing is, a lot of things that have stuck with my brand, I did not come up with. It's just me being aware and present to what's going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't pay attention to Lonnie Love saying that, I wouldn't have had that. You know what I mean? Or it could have went over my head. But I was paying attention. It stuck. I mean, even the fact some of my classes they call it the altar of Walter because they feel like when they come, it's the spiritual experience come up with that. These are the people. This is what they get. I've got the name the Booty Builder. I didn't come up with that. They said this man does 1,000,000 squats in his class. He must be the booty builder. So like you have to be present for your journey. And a lot of times God sends signals to you that doesn't always come through you. It comes through other people. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're aware, you can connect the dots because life is all about connecting dots anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that came about. And that's kind of how everything came about.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. Like what you said about being present in your journey. Because if you
Mm,
weren't present to all of these things, you would,
yes.
oh, that name. Oh, they like this. Oh, they like that. Like just being present and absorbing all of that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. I love that. I love that. And so then I want to ask you a question about I saw that you recently put out a music video.
I did.
So I want you to talk about that process, the music you put out. And I know like I am so for this new type of artist, this fitness artist that you're putting out music for people to work out to. So let's talk about the music video.
So, like I said, my best friend, he made the very first video about 3 to 4 years ago. And it was supposed to be a promo video that looked like a music video, and we decided to just stick with that aesthetic. So every time I did like a pop-up class or I was teaching my own class, all my promo videos were like music videos, but we were using other people's songs. And like it hit us like, yo, why are we using other people's songs? We need to do a song. Like I need a song so I can use my own music because sometimes people will be like, is this him singing on a track? Is this his song? And I'm like, no, that's actually, someone else. And then I just decided, you know what? I need to make my own music and I need to be the star in this song, in this video. I need to have my own song. So I thought that it would be cool to make music kind of almost like social dancing, like the electric slide, Cupid Shuffle. I wanted to make music like that because it was instructional. You know what I'm saying? Through the lyrics, you were told what to do. So I was like, that's kind of what I want to do. Like squat, 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 pull your in, pull your knee in, like something like that. So that was my original idea. But like throughout quarantine and working on a track, I came up with like 5 different versions, and some of it was instructional, some of it wasn't. And honestly, we kind of just mixed them all together, and we got my first single, which is Nice by Champ. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere that has music. And we kind of just stuck with that. And some of it is instructional, but most of it, this first single is basically me telling my story. And the way I structured it was very much the way I structured a class. You have the warm up, you have the high intensity part of the song, and then at the end is kind of like dies down like a cool down. But chorus is instructional. It's up, down, booty round, left, right, make it nice. So it's kind of very much just like that. And then we put a visual to it, and luckily I had like a lot of people who believed in me, and they were able to produce the entire video. And we made magic and we got it done. So it's been out for a few months now, and the video is doing pretty well. And my plans are to now make a workout video to the song. So the first visual is about being cute. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The next one is going to be the same song, but it'll be an actual instructional video to like a glute workout, a booty workout.
Okay. Yes. I I'm so here for this. Yes, Walter. I'm so here for this.
Awesome. I'm
Like
here.
I love it. I love it. So, I guess my next question would be in this time of a pandemic, because we're not out of it yet. Cannot say that, unfortunately. I wish I could. Um, how has your what's the word I want to use? How has, I guess, your outlook changed? I know that was there a certain way you were thinking of approaching being a fitness artist before the pandemic and before the shutdown? And now that we've had this time, you're like, "Oh, I'm thinking of this in a little bit of a different way and I'm approaching it in a little bit of a different way."
Right. Well, before the pandemic, I was working virtually already with this company, Our Body Electric. And I was also teaching live classes at 305 Fitness. I was doing classes on my own. And at that point, I thought that I was going to be able to really impact lives by teaching these in-person classes. But throughout the pandemic, we were kind of already set up for what was going on. Everything was going virtual and we were already virtual. So my following kind of shot, like my following grew tremendously. The response just was a lot more intense because people didn't have an outlet. I was a lot of people's only outlet. My company was halfway shut down, but not shut down completely. It was only like 7 trainers working out of like 10 out of 16 of us. And I was one of that 7. So people turned to me a lot. And I realized that, which it's common sense, but it never hit me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm reaching so many people right now virtually. So like I decided to kind of drop 305 Fitness. You know what I'm saying? I stopped doing my pop-up classes and just started to solely focus on virtual training. And since I've been doing that, I realized that you're going to reach more people virtually. So I'm kind of shifting my focus. I still want to do my pop-up in-person classes, but my brand is really focusing on virtual, because I have a chance to reach so many more people. Like New York is really big for boutique fitness. New York is very a place where everybody wants to work out. So I like to take that style of fitness and bring it to people who has never experienced it, who has never experienced the booty builder or the altar of Walter or just like these different styles of training and different styles of cardio. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the quarantine has just taught me that you're going to reach a lot more people with your computer.
Yes. Yes, exactly. You are going to reach a lot more people with your computer. And like you said, yes, a lot of it is you were based out of New York. A lot of it was out of New York. But now with being virtual and with your computer, you can literally reach people around the world
Absolutely.
who would have never experienced your greatness.
Where it's crazy because I actually just did like my first in-person event in Austin, Texas, about 3 weeks ago. And people were coming in from different parts of the world. I was like, wait, where are you from? You came here for this class? They're like, yeah, I've been training with you for a year. My kids know who you are. Like, yeah. So that was just flattering. So yeah, virtually I'm reaching that and a place I ain't never heard of. I'm like, what? That?
Where is that? Point that out on the map. Where are you at?
How you say that?
Yes, but Walter, that's incredible. That is incredible. People flying from around the world to take up an in-person class.
Right. So, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They like, why not? Y'all going to these concerts, come add some years onto your life, baby. Yeah.
That part, Walter, that part, you hit that right on the head. You gonna go to a concert, fly in for a concert, right? Fly in for a fitness class, which is basically a concert with you.
Yeah, right, exactly. I see what you did there.
Right. So it's that. Oh, that is incredible, Walter. That's incredible. So the next question I want to ask you, I guess, is going back to you saying being present and being in your journey, and when you
Yeah,
were auditioning for musical theater and going, this doesn't feel right. Like I'm enjoying this, but I'm always questioning this doesn't feel right. So
right.
you started to find, you were like, I really like fitness though. Like when I'm doing that, like I feel like Walter, I feel like the champ, I feel like my whole self while doing this. And you found it because you were in a place you were present in your life as a human. So I guess my question to you is what advice do you have to other artists about finding that sweet spot, if you will?
I would say don't settle.
Mm.
We are not here to feel like depressed and sad or question. Like those are emotions that's going to come. But ultimately, I believe God wants us happy. I believe God is present. I believe God wants us to feel like we're flying when we're having conversations, when we're doing things, when we're living. And for so long, I thought I was settling because I was doing musical theater and I enjoyed it, but like I knew there were parts of it that I didn't enjoy, and I was like, but you know what? This is what I've always done. This is what I've always done, so I gotta stay here. You know what I'm saying? This is what I went to school for, so this is what I have to do. And then I was like, nah, like no, there's more. Nah, this cannot be it. So I didn't settle. So I would say just do not settle. If you don't feel your best when you're doing what you say is your purpose or what your career is, you don't feel your best, then that's not it. That's not it. You have to have a reason to wake up in the morning. Like you gotta want to get up. Like that's when when you open your eyes and you like, oh, let's go do this. That is when you're not settling. That's when you're aligned. So I would just say don't settle. You're meant to enjoy your life. You're meant to inspire. You're meant to live. And if you don't feel like that, it ain't it. So wherever you are, whether you're an artist, whether you're a doctor or whatever you're doing, if it doesn't feel great, don't do it. Like, just don't settle. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. This was lovely. Thank you, Walter, for sharing. I love it. And I like y'all. I'm watching him on Zoom right now, but like I could feel his energy through the camera. Like, oh, Walter, yes. But before I let you go, there are two things. First, tell everybody where they can find you, all your social media handles. And don't worry, I'm going to put all of this in the show notes as well. But just tell people where they can find you.
Well, I love Instagram. I have Facebook. I got TikTok. I got all that. I got a website. But like, I love Instagram. So guys, you can find me on Instagram at Walter Kemp, the number 2. And that's that. A lot of people are like, what 2? Who's number 1? I'm like, my dad is number 1. I'm a junior. So, so that's what. So you guys can find me on Instagram at Walter Kemp, the number 2. My website, which is only for purchasing apparel, is thealtarofwalter.com. So that's there. But yeah, social media, Walter Kemp, the number 2.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And yes, I will put that in the show notes, everybody. And then also the second thing, Walter. So I must say this to you before I let you go. And that is that I acknowledge you, I celebrate you, and I uplift you.
Oh, wow. That I appreciate you saying that. And I want to say that I acknowledge you and I accept you. I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. And thank you for seeing me and thank you for sharing me.
Of course, Walter. Thank you. I accept that. And you're so very, very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. Yes. Walter, thank you so much for sharing. Please feel free to visit this episode's show notes for links to get in touch with my guest, as well as a link to rate and review my podcast on Podchaser. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, all you have to do is scroll down to the rate and review section. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and share this episode with at least one friend. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon.